I'm Mo Rocca, and I'm excited to announce Season 4 of my podcast, Mobituaries. I've got a whole new bunch of stories to share with you about the most fascinating people and things who are no longer with us. From famous figures who died on the very same day, to the things I wish would die, like buffets. All that and much more. Listen to Mobituaries with Mo Rocca wherever you get your podcasts.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, it's 3 a.m. by the way, so probably by the time you guys hear this episode, it may be, at whatever time you decide to listen to it, but it's 3 a.m. for me, and I'm tired, and I should be asleep, alright? But anyways, no, I'm just sitting down thinking, and, I feel like I just kind of need to have like a little vent session with myself, talk on some things real quick, because a person likes to think a lot, speaking on myself, yeah, I overthink, I feel like, more than the average person, so when I get put in some situation, bro, I think about that stuff, like, I don't just, because I feel like that there's people in this world where they expect you to not think about stuff. So that's why I'm kind of talking the way that I'm talking, because if anybody goes through some stuff that like really gets to them, they're not going to, just be like, oh, it's whatever, don't care, it don't matter, I'm just gonna brush it off. Like, no, people, you gotta understand, like, if somebody goes through some stuff, they're gonna be sitting down thinking about that. And if you put them through that stuff, like, my thing, alright, so, I feel like I need to, because I'm kind of, like, not really being helpful in this podcast episode on what I'm talking about. So, a while back, I feel like everybody kind of knows of the whole situation with this girl that I had feelings for a few years ago. Don't really feel like giving the whole spill by spill of how it went down, but let's just, overall, like, just cut straight to the end of it. It wasn't too long ago when I had messaged her and I said that, I think it's best if we're not friends. And one thing that I did pay attention to, because here's the thing, even though I said that, I think it's best if we're not friends, I still had left that door and opportunity open for, it's like, okay, if you need my help with something, like, I'm there, like, I'll put my differences aside. I just don't want to see people struggle. It's something where I'm like, I kind of, take that stuff to the heart. If I see somebody struggling, I'm like, I want to help and things. So anyways, but that was one thing that I paid attention to, was that after I had said that message, I ain't get no response. So I was like, all right, it's something where I'm like, I guess, because the thing was, I was like in that same exact situation. I'm going to get to that in a moment, but because I feel like I might have talked on that like on rare occasions, but I was in the same situation where I had a friend message me saying they didn't want to be friends. And I guess, like, everybody is different, but anyways, but no, talking on the situation with the girl that I had feelings for, so I messaged her that, and it wasn't almost immediately, but I remember I checked, my social, like, media and stuff, and, I saw that, she already had unfriended me, unfollowed me off of, like, other social platforms, even unfollowed, like, my, content creating accounts, like, accounts that I used to promote my content. She unfollowed absolutely everything. So, here's what's running through my mind right now. I felt like that she never wanted to be friends, and, well, alright, maybe not in the first place, but I do feel like that the friendship just went downhill as soon as I admitted that I had feelings for her, because that's one of the things I do remember, and I'm like, that's something that I wouldn't tell somebody, that, like, oh, I was afraid that this was gonna happen. How, see, that's the stuff that confuses me, because I'm like, unless that's just a poor choice of, like, wording it, but at the same time, I'm like, what are you afraid of? Like, you sit down and you think of that stuff, and it's like, I've never once, like, in the times where women have, like, came to me and they said that they think that they like me, or they have some sort of feelings for me, or they just overall just have feelings for me, I've never been like, oh, I was afraid that this was gonna happen, and then lead into whatever I was gonna say. That's not something, it's like you make a person feel that they're not enough, that they're, like, something's wrong with them, something. And, it's things like that. I'm going to say right now that she had, like, a weird way of wording stuff, when it came to the friendship and just, like there's just some moments that I was sitting down thinking of, and I was like, like there's a different way of approaching things and wording things. How she went about it, it was like, it's almost as if like she was either trying to find a reason for her to not be friends with me, or to just, one of us to just like, just cut the friendship off and stuff. So yeah, it was something where I was like just sitting down thinking about that, and then just thinking of like other moments and stuff. It's like you have to, because the one thing that it's like I really just can't shake my head off of that it was like you used me to cover for you so you could go hang out with this guy and stuff. And I'm like, there's a lot of things that I can, or that I would and would not do to a person. That's something that I wouldn't do to a person. I don't care how I feel about that person. I'm not gonna put them in those situations, especially if they admitted that they have feelings for me. Do you really? The thing is this, all right? And call me dumb for even doing it in the first place, but it's like, do you think most people will want to do some stuff like that? Do you think if the roles was reversed, do you think she would do some stuff like that? No. Nobody will want to do some stuff like that. Me just being in a weak spot, I was like, I did that. And that's something where I'm like, I do regret it. I do regret it. Like, no, if I'm going to be truthfully honest with you guys, that's something where I'm like, I should have stood up for myself. I should have, said, no, I'm not doing that. Like, no, you know how I felt about you and stuff. And it's like to turn around and do some stuff like that. Like, really, like, you're trying to, like, it almost felt like that. It was like you're trying to, like, have, like, me just say, oh, yeah, I don't want to be friends no more. And I truly do think that that's what she overall was doing. Because it's like, when you go years with being cool with this person, right? Or you think that you're being cool with them. And I want to overall get to that. But when you think that you're cool with a person and they never want to hang out with you, they never want to do anything, never, like, it's like what they might like post about you on, like, some occasions and things. Like, that's about it. But it's like when I see and the reason why I'm just really talking on this is because when I see like other people and they talk about their best friends, like I'd be seeing where like people be traveling. Like there's these 1-2 girls that I follow on from Twitch. One lives in Canada, the other one lives out here. They're literally, I have to say that I felt like that they've hung out more times. They've like spent more time with one another, and they live in 2 different countries. Here it is, me and this girl, we live like literally like in the like cities next door to each other. Not countries next door to each other, cities next door to each other. And you mean to tell me it's like in the years that we were friends, like we only hung out a few times? And we might have played like some video games a couple of times and things. Like, yeah, it's like when I sit down and I compare other people's like, their best friendships and stuff with like people and things, and then I compare mine, I'm like, yeah, there's people that I can't even say that I'm like, that's my best friend. But I feel like I've hung out with more with them and talked with them more than I did with somebody that so-called claimed that I was their best friend. So that's why I'm like, Again, I should be asleep right now. I shouldn't be thinking about this stuff. But it's like, yeah, when you kind of go through some traumatizing stuff, like, and you don't really have nobody to talk to about it, and then it's, you're a content creator, this is like the next best thing that you got, because that's something that I wanted to, I didn't say it earlier, but I was like thinking it earlier in this episode that, throughout my life, I had to say that I never really had like, not so much as like manage the friendship, but it's like overall I paid attention to who wanted to be cool with me and then who didn't want to be cool with me. And there's people that I can say right now where I'm like, no, like I know for a fact that they want to be cool with me. Like, and it's stuff where it's like you pay attention to that, you notice those things. And it's like when people, like, I could think back on moments when I was a kid, right? And it's stuff that just sticks with you because it's like, when you go through your whole life feeling like the odd one out, and then it's like, then when you have people that like genuinely care about you and they genuinely want to be around you, and then you have friends saying like, oh, love you, Tyler, this, that. And I'm like, I just don't know how to really feel about that. It's like, I'm not going to say that I grew up in an environment where I ain't getting no love. Like, no, I feel like I did, get a decent amount of love. But at the same time, it's like, there's just moments that really stick out where it's like, that don't really seem too loving, you know. But like, no, when like friends, when they show that sort of affection to me, I don't know how to really respond to it, you know. Like it's kind of, it's weird to me. It's like it feels like a different environment. Like I just don't overall know how to react to that. Like there is moments where I could think where like friends would say that to me, and I just don't, like, I say it, but I'm like, oh, okay, like, yeah, thank you. I'm like, love you too. I think I don't know. I don't know how to respond to that. Like it's like a foreign language to me and stuff. So, but anyways, and then I know people will probably ask, like, did this, you know, particular person ever say that to you? Like, I feel like there might have been like a couple of times, but I didn't believe it. You know, it's something where it's like, you know, you say that, but it's like, you say that you love me, but it's like, fam, just look how like this friendship is going down. Like it's literally like crashing down. And I'm like, that's something where I'm like, nah, you know, like if a person, that's just my advice to people out there. If a person loves you, they'll show it. You know, they'll show it. They'll want to spend time with you. They'll want to talk with you all the time. Like, it's something. And I know people are all like, they're going to say some stuff like, oh, you know, you don't have to hang out with a person all the time. You don't have to talk with them all the time. That's true. That's facts. And there were days where it's like, you know, yeah, we'll go without talking with one another. And then, yeah, we talk, then we talk. But it's like, there just was like times where I'm like, I don't feel that this is a friendship. I don't feel like, you know, like when you're in the same city, like literally down the street from one another, right? And then you say like, hey, let's hang out. And and you know, this friend is like, no, like I'm busy doing whatever and things. And then they post on social media how they're just hanging out in Seattle. How is that going to make somebody feel? You know, like the thing is this. If you don't want to hang out with me, just say that. Like, if you don't want to be friends with me, just say that. If you don't want to be cool with me, just say that. I feel like I'm a big boy. I feel like I'm an adult. I feel like I am an understanding person. So, like, and that's like, I remember there was this one girl that, me and her, we used to be cool. I remember back in high school, but we kind of like falling out of like contact and stuff. But, she was just straightforward with me, like, from the get-go. Like, she was straightforward with me, just like, I feel like I should turn my TV off, but if I turn my TV off, then it's just gonna be pitch black in my room. So it's like, it's my only bit of light right now, so I am getting a little distracted. But anyways, all right, now I'm back on track. But anyways, no, like I remember when like first day I started talking to this girl, right? She told me from jump, like, she ain't looking for no relationship. She, you know, ain't trying to date or any of that stuff. I'm like, all right, cool, fine. You know, and then from there, it was like, and then I remember, like, we would sit down at nights, like, just playing Grand Theft Auto, and, you know, just be talking about life and things. And that was, like, one thing that I appreciated so much from that friendship, where it's like, we would see each other in school, start messing with each other, see each other during lunch, throwing food at each other, you know, go home, play video games, freaking just talking with one another, just, you know, sitting down and venting. And that was like one thing that I appreciated so much from that friendship. And I was like, nah, man, like, if, you know, I feel like I have that with like some friends today, but I'm like, if I could just have that with everybody, I feel like, you know, life would just feel so much better and stuff. But it's like, when you like pay attention to stuff, I think I was talking on that, like, you know, like moments when I was a kid. But, you know, when I think of like moments when I was a kid where it was like, I'll try to like fit in with a group, and then this group is pushing me away for whatever reason, and then it's like fast forward your adult years, and then it's like you kind of feel that same way. And it's like, you know, how am I supposed to continue being cool with somebody or friends with somebody? Because that's something that I thought of, where it's like, if, let's say, me and this girl, if we were to ever, like, you know, get into contact again, right? And she would try to like get on me about ending the friendship, and it's like, okay, well, look at how the friendship went about. Like, you know, I try to be nice. I try to be, you know, calm, cool, and collected person. I try not to, you know, let my feelings do the talking. But at times, you know, I feel like that I need to. You know, like, I need to let my feelings out. I need to talk. I need to, you know, actually let y'all know how I feel and stuff. So I definitely think that, you know, if we were to ever get in contact again, and, you know, maybe not, like, it's a 50-50 chance of, like, if we ever would talk again and things. But let's say if we were to ever talk again, and she were to get on me about ending the friendship, that's something that I definitely will bring up to her. And it's like, you know, think of all the stuff that happened between the friendship, you know, like, but think about it, but switch the roles, okay? Like, you've had feelings for me, since day one, right? Feelings for me since day one. always wanted to spend time with me, always wanted to talk with me, always just wanted to be there. I push you away. I get into a relationship. I have you cover. So I'm like telling people, oh yeah, I'm doing this, but I'm really going out and hanging out with my significant other. And I have you cover for me after all these emotions that you done went through, after just going through some of your most deep, depressing times. Do you honestly think that you would want to be cool with me? Like, sit down and think about that. Like, I know there'll probably be people out there that want to say some manipulating stuff like, oh, that's okay, that's cool. No, it's not okay. It's not cool. I refuse to believe that that is okay in any way, shape, or form. I wouldn't. That's something that I wouldn't know. So here's the thing, that's what I wanted to talk on, was that there's a friend where a similar situation had happened between me and her, where it was literally the same exact thing. This friend reached out to me. It was, like just on some random day. She reaches out to me. We get to talking and stuff. And that was the thing where it's like I didn't really have like no feelings for her. Like I think I might have mentioned this before, but it was like at the time being I kind of was liking someone else and things, and so I was like I didn't really want to, because like that's the thing where I'm like, yeah, it was a mistake. I'm like, I should, like, I feel like if my thing is this, if God, the universe, if literally there's all these signs that's in, like, that's in front of you, like there is somebody that is good for you, that is in the picture, bruh, like don't pass that up. Don't pass that up for something where it's like you're sitting down questioning it on whether or not it's gonna work out and things. So, but anyways, so I started talking. It was like, and I've known her for a while too. Like I've known her actually since we went to the same middle school with one another, but it was like we were friends on social media. That was as far as it ever had went and things. And I had to say, like, it wasn't up until like now when we were like, now that we're like, we talk more and all that stuff. And so, but anyways, so texting me and stuff, overall just wanting to just talk, asking me to hang out. And I sit down and I think about it, and I'm like, fam, I was pushing this girl away, and I was like, I don't even have a legitimate reason for it. I still to this day don't know why I was pushing her away. I don't know if I was scared, I don't know what it was, but I'm all like, fam, what is wrong with me? Like, I literally had somebody good in front of me, and I'm like, and I just passed up on like such a a blessing, pretty much. Like, no, like, seriously, like, people like that is a blessing, where it's like they want to like spend time with you and all this other stuff, and then you don't really see nobody else wanting to do that with you and things. Like, yeah, like, no, that's a blessing right there. And so anyways, but she did at some point in time tell me like that she had liked me. And then, I just, I said, like, oh, I like somebody else. And there's things that I said, like, I remember there was one time when she said that she wanted to, like, hang out, or, like, why I never want to hang out or do any things. And I think I said something dumb, like, oh, I want to focus on content creating, I don't want no distractions. And I sat down and I thought about that. I felt bad saying that. Like, I did, and I immediately apologized. I was like, that was disrespectful. That was messed up. That was rude. Like, I apologize for that stuff. But anyways, fast forward, there was a day where she was, like, she just wasn't really, no, so actually, so she would always invite me to events and stuff, never would show up, never would go. And, no, there was one time she invited me to an event, and I was like, it's going to like try to like build up that courage and confidence to just go. Because like, I will have to say, like, I really don't do so well in like crowded places, especially, like when was this? Like, was it last year? I think it was it was last year. And COVID's still running through my mind, all that crap. So I didn't really, feel too well like doing the social gathering, but still, it's like, it's just something that I should have did. I was like, even before then, I was like, times when she just wanted us to just hang out. We were just me and her. I should have said then. But anyways, I was going to try to build up that courage and confidence to actually, hang out with her and stuff. And for some reason, it slipped my mind. I forgot. And I was like, bro, like, I don't even know, like, it was weird, because I was like, I don't even like, I remember her asking me, but then it was like, that's the thing, I was like, I just don't like I straight just forgot about her like asking me to like go to this gathering and stuff. So some months had passed by, and then all of a sudden I started paying attention and thinking to myself like, wait a second, again getting distracted from TV and stuff. Like I need to start, facing the other way, because I'm using my laptop instead of my computer right now. If I was doing this off of my computer, I wouldn't be getting so distracted, fumbling over my words and stuff. So anyways, okay, back on track. So she asked me to go to this get together. I said I was going to think about it. I didn't do it. Forgot all about it. I genuinely had forgot. And then some months had passed by, and I noticed that she hadn't posted on social media. We hadn't texted. I hadn't seen her like anywhere and stuff, right? So I haven't even seen her in person and freaking since middle school and stuff. So, anyways, but I hadn't heard from her, so I messaged her. I mean, I was messaging her everywhere. Like I was messaging her on like all social media platforms, texting her. There is this other like texting app that we would use because like she has an iPhone, I have a Samsung Galaxy, and there would be at times like where messages would just go through better, because there's Samsung and Apple, like if I should just do an episode talking on them and like their just lack of communication between them two phones. But anyways, but yeah, I was trying to like get a hold of her like left and right. And then eventually she did reach back out to me. And I was like, I was just wanting to check and see if he was okay. Like, and I was like, what was going on? And she was like, yeah, I just feel like I need to just cut everybody out and things and, focus on herself. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, I understand that. As soon as I heard from her, then I was like, I just thought everything was cool. So I remember there was a night sitting down chilling. I think I was like watching TV, working on videos, doing something. So anyways, chilling. Get text message from her, and she overall was just saying like she didn't want to be friends no more, and I was hurt by it, like I was genuinely hurt, and I was like trying to figure out what was the reason and stuff. And then when I actually sat down and started thinking about it, I was like, oh, that's why, because I was overall a bad friend. And I'm like, and when I sit down and I think about that, I was like, man, I really genuinely felt bad. And I was like, that was something where I wish I could have like did things differently. I wish I was like, whatever was going on in my head, or just, whatever dumb things I was thinking about, I was like, I just wish I wasn't thinking it. Like I was just, overall just being a genuine, good friend and stuff. And so it definitely, just kind of affected my mental, kind of had me in a bad spot. And then I know people probably think like, do you think the girl felt that same way, like the one that you have feelings for? No, don't think that at all. I genuinely don't think that she didn't even I honestly think that she didn't even want to be friends anymore in the first place. So like, that's why I was like I said, I was like, I think that the friendship, it just declined once I admitted that I had feelings for her. And then from there, it was like, oh, well, let me just, say these things, do these things, and just, just try to make the friendship deteriorate as much as I can. Because, the thing is this, like, another thing I do remember that girl saying to me, and it's something that just don't make sense, was that I remember she said that I was like too good for her. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if a person is too good for you, and I thought the same way with this girl that admitted that she had feelings for me. I was like, she's just in a much more better spot than I'm in right now. And I think of that, and I'm like, it sounds so dumb. I was like, dude, and I'm not saying that that's like, the girl that I have feelings for is dumb, but I'm just overall saying like, that's just not a good enough reason, because I'm like, that's what a person overall wants in a relationship. They want somebody that's good to them, right? I'm saying like, if you want somebody that's just overall like mean, bad, rude to you and all this stuff, abusive and all that crap, then I'm like, bruh, I'm not that type of person. But like, if communicating was there in the first place, then yeah, I think that maybe we could have still been friends. But I'm like, yeah, just with the lack of communication, it was like, yeah, that friendship was gonna end at some point. So it's whatever. I'm like, it's just something that's like just written off and things. I'm like, oh well, but then, getting back to the friend that admitted that she had feelings for me. So I remember when, because I had told this friend too about that situation, and she was there for me, was talking with me and all that stuff. And say overall saying like, when I was telling her all that stuff that was just happening, she was like, you deserve so much better. And I'm sitting down thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, no, I do. I genuinely, I truly do, and stuff. Like, I know I deserve better. And then I remember when I had told the one that I have feelings for, when I told her, I was like, I think it's best if we're not friends anymore. Immediately, because I still had the other friend's number. And I text her, and I was all like, because I just for some reason thought like, she would care. And I was like, if, she responds, she responds. If she doesn't, she doesn't. But I text her, and I was like, I told that girl that I didn't want to be friends anymore. And no, from there we just got back to talking. And then like I'm sitting down thinking, I'm like, I do not want to mess this up. Like this time around, I really don't. And then that's the thing where it's like, what's concerns me and scares me is that I'm still stuck in this mindset where it's like, oh, I'm, frightened, scared, whatever. And I'm like, fam, there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be frightened of. There's nothing to be afraid of. None of that stuff. So I'm like, I'm really trying my hardest, to just really be a much more better friend. And I feel like that I'm kind of just like, messing it up again. And I'm like, that's why I'm just sitting down talking, because it's like, it's just a bunch of things that's just running through my mind right now. But I'm hoping I don't. Like, I'm hoping, like, whatever I got going on, like, I just push that stuff aside, whether I'm nervous or whatever. But I'm like, I just hope that I push that stuff aside. And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'm all like, I'm just going to wing it. I'm just, if things don't, work out, things don't work out. But, and I know people are probably like, do you think that this other friend, she still has feelings for you or whatever? I'm like, it's something where it's like, if she does, like, just wow. I'm like, that's something where I'm like, I feel like that I didn't put her through half the stuff that this girl had put me through, but I do feel like that I had put her through enough to where it was like, yeah, that's something where I'm like, the thing is this, like, what I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for is that she messages me again and she says that she doesn't want to be cool anymore. Then it's like, it's something that I have to genuinely accept and understand that I'm like, yeah, I wasn't a good friend, and I truly do apologize. And so, it's something where I'm like, I'm working on it. I'm trying to be a better person, to, I guess, people that deserve it. And then, just overall, like, just actually, just hang out with people that want to hang out. Be there for people that actually are there and all that stuff. And, because I'm saying, like, with this friend, I mean, she's the one that, that has feeling, that had feelings for me. I don't know if she does still or not. But anyways, I had to say, like, in just the 2 years that me and her have been friends, I had to say that, yeah, it's definitely been a lot better than, me and the other friend and stuff. Because I was like, yeah, she actually shows support to the stuff that I'm involved in. She doesn't just say, like, oh, yeah, I support it, and then just leaves it at that. Like, no, like, she actually, like, follows my platforms, like, watches my videos, watches my streams. She might be listening to my podcast right now. Whatever it is, like, she actually shows support. She's actually there. And I feel like with this other friend, the thing is this, and I feel like that she's going to hear this one day, right? She's going to hear this. She's going to message me. She's going to try to, like, make me feel all bad. But it's like, fam, you're never going to feel like how I felt. That's something where it's like, yeah, try to make me out as a bad friend. Say whatever you want to say, all that stuff. The thing is this. You have never, ever in life thought to yourself that, something has to happen to me in order for Tyler to message me or to hang out with me, or, just for us to just overall meet face to face. That's something that I genuinely thought about. That's something where I'm like, fam, I truly do feel like that I can ask her one day, like, hey, let's hang out. No, pretty much like what she's truly saying is like, no, don't want to hang out with you today. All right, whatever, cool. I guess that is what it is. Then let's say something happens to me. I'm laid down in the hospital bed, and they're all like, we don't know what's gonna happen to him. I feel maybe even the thing is this, like, now what's running through my mind is that I feel like that wouldn't even be enough. It would they could be scheduling my funeral. That wouldn't even be enough. See, that's stuff where it's like, in a friendship, you shouldn't have to think along those lines at all. where it's like something has to happen to you in order for you guys to hang out or, you know, just be around one another and things. I'm like, I feel like that's what the situation will be. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, if that's what the friendship is gonna be, where it's like, no. You hanging out with me more while I'm not here, and that meaning like, oh, you're going to my grave sighting, unfolding the chair, doing like some freaking Rocky when he was in Creed, and he's like sitting down talking with Adrian type stuff. I'm like, nah, man. I don't know why I referenced the movie. I could have eliminated referencing the movie and stuff. But anyways, but overall though, like painting the picture and stuff. Yeah, I don't want no friendship like that. I don't want no friendship where you're having to talk to me while I'm in the afterlife. I'm like dead and gone and things, and so that's why I'm like, yeah, I don't want no friendship like that. You know, it's like while I'm here, enjoy me, you know, like wanting to hang out, like, you know, talk, like freaking whatever it is. But yeah, it's just even on some stuff where it's like, it ain't even about the relationship. It's like, you know, it's just about being a genuine friend. It's like, you know, if you want to be friends with somebody, then it's like, show that. But if not, then it's like, bruh, then it's, you know, don't be surprised when that person don't want to be cool with you no more. But it's like, yeah, it's on some stuff where it's like, you know, this person's wanting to hang out with you left and right. And then, you know, it's just nothing happens. Yeah, then it's like, if that person don't want to be cool with you, like I said, don't be surprised. So, but yeah, it's just, you know, just me venting, but also at the same time, it's like letting people know, like, hey, you got people in your life that want to hang out with you, hang out with them. What's the worst that could happen? It's like whether you're nervous, scared, whatever, it's like put that stuff aside, hang out with them. That's it. All right. So, and it's like, don't wait until they're no longer here or they're in the hospital fighting for their life to be all like, oh, now I want to hang out with them. No, hang out with them while they're good, healthy. You just like, you don't know how far that stuff could go. I feel like that if we would have hung out more, I probably would have put that relationship stuff aside. Because, no, it hurt, you know. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Like, it did genuinely hurt that, you know, she, like, want to be with me in that way. But it's something where I'm like, hey, you know what? It's not the first time. It wasn't the last time. And, yeah, it's like, it's something I'm like, I've learned to live with that. I mean, there's people out there where it's like, same exact thing. Where it's like, you know, they've rejected me, get into relationships. And I'm cool with them. You know, it's something where I'm like, oh, well, it's like, you know, we still hang out, still talk. And I'm like, and it's something I'm like, wow, all right, you know, cool. I like that. I can appreciate that. But it's like when I just feel that I'm not wanted, you know, maybe a younger me would have still kept going. Older me is like, look, I'm tired. I'm getting old. Even though I'm still in my 20s, I still feel like I'm just, you know, I'm just getting old to where I can't take that stuff no more, man. I really can't. So I'm going to just start cutting people off and just being like, hey, you know what? Don't be surprised if I cut you off. So it's one of those things where it's like, if you was in my shoes, you would do the same thing. So, but yeah, anyways, and that being said, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for hearing me out. Stay tuned for another vent session, and peace.